The myth of human fragility. The galaxy had long agreed on one simple truth. Humans were fragile, not weak, exactly just. Breakable. A species of soft tissue, brittle bones, emotional chaos, and short lifespans. A species that bled too easily, panicked too quickly, and slept far too much to be considered a serious military power, or so the catalog said. The Galactic Concord's scientific archives described Earth as a marginally habitable Class 3 biosphere. Its dominant species, physically unremarkable, psychologically unstable, and evolutionarily inefficient. Every Academy student learned this in their first year, memorized it, quoted it, built their strategies around it. And Commander Krell believed it with religious certainty. So when he received the request to evaluate a human exchange officer, a logistics lieutenant, at that he prepared himself for paperwork, apologies, and the kind of diplomatic patience one normally reserved for toddlers wielding plasma cutters. But he did not receive a toddler. He received Lieutenant Mara Briggs, and the universe would never forget her name again. Meet Commander Krell, the man who trusted the manuals. Commander Krell of the Varkan Dominion had trained warriors for 27 cycles. He had forged champions from raw recruits, turned brutes into tacticians, molded failing cadets into the steel of the Dominion's shield. There were only 3 things in existence he trusted without question: discipline, physics, the Academy Training Manual. The manual was especially sacred, compiled after 500 years of martial experience, taught across 17 systems, and updated only when a species proved a new level of threat. Humans were footnotes in that manual. A Class 4 softshell species. Low musculature, slow reaction times. Liable to panic under pressure. Academically clever, perhaps, but hardly battlefield material. So when he strode across the initiation chamber, that morning, boots striking metal like war drums, he expected to greet a jittery, overeager, untested child. Instead, he found a woman who watched him the way soldiers watch storms. Lieutenant Briggs stood at parade rest, back straight, expression unreadable. No trembling, no nerves, no false bravado. Her uniform was crisp, her breathing steady. Her eyes, dark, calm, and razor-focused, followed every motion in the chamber with clinical interest. Not fear, not awe. Assessment. Krell's jaw tightened. "Lieutenant," he barked. "You are late. I arrived 10 minutes early, sir," she replied, tone neutral. "Your internal clocks must run on Dominion Standard Time. Earth uses solar. A challenge. Subtle. Controlled." Krell's nostrils flared. "You will adjust to our protocols." "I always do, sir." That answer was not submissive. It was factual. Confident without arrogance. Unsettling. The training floor where weakness is exposed. The cadets gathered around the arena edge, whispering as they took in the human. Softshell, groundborn, carbon-based, breaks under stress. Their whispers were loud enough for Briggs to hear every word. She didn't react. Krell felt irritation rise. A good soldier should not ignore disrespect, they should crush it. "Lieutenant Briggs," he called, "today you will complete the preliminary combat assessment. Only basic protocols, non-lethal." Briggs inclined her head. "Understood, Commander. Do you require a briefing on safety rules?" "No, sir." Krell paused. "No? Humans are fragile." Another officer might have bristled. Another might have protested. Briggs simply said, "I am familiar with my limits, sir." Krell snorted. "Your limits?" "Let us hope they do not embarrass you." He motioned to the weapons panel. "Choose your defense." "We begin with level 3 pulse strikes." Briggs approached the weapons rack. Her hand hovered over the array of Dominion shields, graviton deflectors, and energy mesh gauntlets. She chose nothing. Krell blinked. "Lieutenant, your defense?" She rolled her shoulders. "I'll use my hands." A ripple of laughter echoed around the arena. Commander Krell did not laugh. His eyes narrowed. "Very well," he said coldly. "Begin simulation. Combat simulation begins. Level 3. 3 drones descended from the ceiling, sleek metal spheres armed with pulse cannons. They activated with a rising hum. Briggs exhaled once. The first pulse blast cracked through the air-red light, searing toward her chest. She slid a foot backward, posture loose and balanced. Her hand snapped up. She didn't block. She didn't dodge. She simply redirected the shot with 2 fingers, altering its angle just enough that it screamed past her torso and burned harmlessly into the wall. Krell stiffened. Not luck. The next 2 drones fired in tandem. Briggs stepped between the converging blasts between them, as if she had known their trajectories before they even fired, and tapped the underside of one drone with the base of her palm. A tiny adjustment. A correction of momentum. The 2 drones collided mid-air, scrambled, and crashed to the ground. The arena went silent. Krell's mandibles twitched. "That was acceptable," he said stiffly. "Proceed to level 4. Briggs nodded once. She was not winded, not excited, just awake. Level 7. The first real test. Levels 4, 5, and 6 pushed her speed and perception. She passed them with a precision bordering on eerie. But level 7? That was designed to crush non-augmented species. 6 drones. Stun shock intensity increased by 300%. Unpredictable firing patterns. Randomized rotations. Krell folded his arms. "Lieutenant Briggs," he warned, "this level may cause injury. You may request a protective vest." "No, sir," she said. "Very well." His voice hardened. "Activate level 7. The drones descended in a halo, encircling her. Energy pulsed along their cannons, hotter, brighter, deadly. Fire. A barrage of bolts exploded toward her. Briggs moved. Not like a human. Not like any softshell species the Dominion had ever charted. She shifted with surgical efficiency. Each step placed deliberately, each angle calculated, each turn shaved to the millisecond. She wasn't reacting, she was predicting, anticipating, reading the energy patterns faster than the drones could adjust. She glided through the storm. The bolts weren't avoiding her, she was guiding them, bending the chaos around her like a river around stone. Then, she leapt. 1 foot hit the arena wall, pushed off, and she launched upward, catching a drone mid-air with a grip that should have shattered her fingers. It struggled, buzzed, tried to destabilize. She twisted. The drone crashed into the others like a meteor. Metal shrieked. Sparks sprayed. One by one, the machines fell in a smoking heap. Silence. And then applause. No, the cadets weren't clapping. They were staring. Because the manual had been wrong. Very, very wrong. Level 9. Krell begins to understand. Commander Krell approached her slowly, studying the faint rise and fall of her chest. "HM," he muttered. "You are breathing more heavily." Briggs wiped a bead of sweat from her temple. "Yes, sir." "You are fatigued." "A little." She said it like a confession, like she regretted it. Krell's skin prickled. No unaugmented species should have survived level 7 without collapsing. Level 9 was exponentially harder. "Lieutenant," he said quietly, "explain something to me." "Yes, Commander?" "How did you know the shots would converge?" Briggs blinked, baffled by the simplicity of the question. "They follow angular momentum conservation, sir." Krell's head tilted. "Everyone knows that," she added. "No," Krell thought. "Not everyone. Not like this." He inhaled sharply. "Activate level 9." A murmur of shock rippled through the cadets. "Sir?" One called, "She isn't augmented." "Level 9 will—" "Commander's orders," Krell snapped. Briggs rolled her shoulders again. "I'm ready." The Railbolt, the impossible moment the chamber darkened. A single drone descended sleek, long-barreled, humming with lethal energy. A Railbolt launcher. Even Dominion warriors feared this weapon in close quarters. It fired tungsten at hypersonic speed fast enough to pierce starship hulls. Krell lifted a clawed hand. "Lieutenant Briggs, this is a fatal weapon. Even in training mode, it will break bone. You may request armor." Briggs inhaled. "No armor, proceed." The arena held its breath. The drone's barrel locked onto her chest. Charging coils crackled. Briggs placed her feet apart, weight balanced. Krell hesitated for the first time in years. "Fire," he ordered. The Railbolt tore through the air sonic boom trailing behind it. Briggs tilted her torso a single inch, just enough to alter the point of impact. Her hand snapped upward. Fingers closed. Metal screamed against her palm, the bolt spinning viciously, but Briggs held it, absorbed the momentum, twisted her wrist, and stopped it. Dead. Silence detonated across the chamber. The cadets froze. Krell's pupils contracted. The drone powered down. Lieutenant Briggs examined the bolt as if it were a tool she might use later. Then she walked to Commander Krell, placed the railbolt politely into his shaking hand, and said, "Your drones need recalibration." Krell had trained warlords, assassins, gladiators, and augmented champions. He had never felt fear of a softshell. Until now.